Hello friends, in this video we will calculate working capital limit using the Nayak committee method or the turnover method. This method is usually used for working capital limits up to 500 lakhs or 5 crores. Now, in this sheet what we have done is that we will be calculating the mpbf for 2 years, that is for current year and for next financial year. Now, in case you need the sheet for extra years, then what you can do is that you can simply copy these cells and you can paste them over here so that you will get the additional cells for extra years if required. Let's start. Let me just delete this first. Okay, now we'll start. First of all, we have to feed the annual turnover as estimated or projected by the borrower over here. Now, for example, the borrower is estimating a turnover of 400 lakhs for 22-23 and 500 lakhs for 23-24. Now, it's not necessary that the entire turnover as estimated or projected by the borrower is accepted by us as a banker. After analyzing the sales trend, we can accept the turnover at lower levels also. Now, for example, for 22-23, against the estimated figure of 400 lakhs, we are accepting turnover of 300 lakhs, and for 23-24, we are accepting 440 lakhs against projected turnover of 500 lakhs. Now, this sheet gives you the working capital requirement, total working capital requirement. Now, this is 25% of annual turnover accepted by the bank. Now, for 22-23, we accepted the turnover at 300 lakhs. So, working capital requirement comes to 25% of 300 lakhs, that is 75 lakhs. And for 23-24, it comes to 110 lakhs. Now, what is the minimum margin required? That is the margin which is required to be brought upfront by the customer or the borrower. That is 1/5 of working capital requirement. A working capital requirement is 75 lakhs. 1/5 of the same comes to 15 lakhs. Here, working capital requirement is 110 lakhs. 1/5 comes to 22 lakhs. Now, this would be the minimum margin required to be brought by the borrower from his side. Now, in the next cell, we have to mention the actual margin available with the borrower or customer. For example, here against the minimum requirement of 15 lakhs, borrower has an available margin of 12 lakhs, and here for next year, borrower is projecting a minimum projecting the margin availability of 25 lakhs. Now, in this cell we get that what should be the mpbf under ideal situation, that is the working capital requirement minus the minimum margin required. Here working capital requirement is 75 lakhs, minimum margin required is 15 lakhs. So in ideal situation, the mpbf would come to 60 lakhs, that is 75 lakhs minus 15 lakhs for financial year 22-23, and for financial year 23-24 it would come to 110 lakhs minus 22 lakhs, that is 88 lakhs. Now here we get item 3 minus item 5, that is working capital requirement minus actual margin available. Now for 22-23 it comes to 63 lakhs, and for 23-24 it comes to 85 lakhs. In the next cell, we get 4 times of actual margin available. Now here actual margin available is 12 lakhs, 4 times of this comes to 48 lakhs, and for 23-24 margin availability has been estimated at 25 lakhs, 4 times of that comes to 100 lakhs. Now what would be our mpbf? mpbf would be the lowest of these three, that is mpbf under ideal situation, mpbf on the basis of margin availability, and then mpbf if margin available is lower than the required margin. So it would be the mpbf would be the lowest of all three. So for financial 22-23 it comes to 48 lakhs because customer has margin availability of 12 lakhs only, which is lower than the minimum margin required. So mpbf would be restricted to 4 times of this actual margin available, and that would come to 48 lakhs only. For 23-24, minimum margin required is 22 lakhs, but customer has margin availability of 25 lakhs. That is more than the minimum margin available. Now, in that case, mpbf would be reduced to 85 lakhs against ideal situation of 88 lakhs. So, in this way, you can calculate the working capital limit up to 500 lakhs on turnover or Nayak committee method. Now, you will get the link for this sheet in the description of this video. While using this sheet, you need to remember that you should not touch the cells which are represented in the red font in this video. You need to change the figures only in the black cells. That is, you need to change the year, you need to change the annual turnover projected or estimated by the borrower, and then the annual turnover is accepted by the bank, and then the actual margin available and net working capital available. Only these cells are to be changed while using this worksheet. The rest all is done by this sheet itself. Now again, in the second part of this video, we'll see the assessment of working capital limit for MSC borrowers on modified turnover method. What is this? This method is used for micro and small enterprise borrowers and where the limit requirement is up to 500 lakhs. This is a modified turnover method in which the turnover has to be broken into two parts, that is digital turnover and non-digital turnover. Digital turnover means the entire turnover which is done through digital means, that is through RTGS, through NEFT, through online banking, and through such means. And non-digital turnover means the turnover which is done through cash and paper mode, that is through checks. Now here, the borrower will have to estimate or project his turnover in two parts. Means, in case he says that during financial 22-23, the digital turnover would be 200 lakhs and non-digital turnover would be 250 lakhs. Likewise, for 23-24, digital turnover is estimated at 250 lakhs and non-digital turnover is estimated at 300 lakhs. Now again, here it is not necessary that the entire turnover as estimated projected by the borrower is accepted by us. So we can accept the turnover on the lower side also, considering the sales trend of the borrower. Now here we'll have to accept the turnover again in two parts. Like here for financial 22-23, we are accepting the digital turnover at 160 lakh and non-digital turnover at 200 lakhs. Likewise, for financial 23-24, we are accepting the digital turnover at 220 lakhs and non-digital turnover at 240 lakhs. So, what about the working capital requirement? Here, on digital turnover, the working capital requirement is 37.5% of digital turnover. That is, in this case, 37.5% of 160 comes to 60 lakhs. And for non-digital turnover, the working capital requirement comes to 31.25%. That is 31.25% of 200 lakhs, which comes to 62.5 lakhs. Likewise, for financial 23-24, the working capital requirement comes to 82.5 lakhs and 75 lakhs for digital and non-digital turnover respectively. Now, what about total working capital requirement? That would be simply the total of these two requirements. So for financial year 22-23, it comes to 122.50 lakhs, and for financial year 23-24, it comes to 157.50 lakhs. Minimum margin required would be same like we have seen in the Nayak committee method. That would be 1/5 of the total working capital requirement. Now 1/5 of 122.50 comes to 24.50, and here it comes to 31.50 lakh. Now in this cell, we have to again mention what is the minimum, what is the margin actually available with the borrower. Now, for example, for financial 22-23, the margin available is 23 lakhs, and for financial year 23-24, the margin availability is 35 lakhs. So again, here the system, the worksheet calculates the mpbf on ideal situation. That is total working capital requirement minus the minimum margin required. Or for financial year 22-23, it comes to 98 lakhs, and for financial year 23-24, it comes to 126 lakhs. Now in this cell, this worksheet calculates the working capital requirement minus the actual margin available with the customer. For this year, it comes to 99.50, and for next year, it comes to 122.50 lakh. Here, in case the margin availability is lower than the minimum margin required, then we have to calculate 4 times of actual margin available. Now, for this year, it comes to 92 lakhs, and for next year, it comes to 140 lakhs. Again, mpbf would be the lowest of these three. So for this year, for financial 22-23, the lowest of these three comes to 92 lakhs, and for next year, it comes to 122.50 lakhs. So the mpbf would be calculated accordingly, and the entire working capital limit would be fixed depending on the mpbf calculated for these two. So this was our video wherein we calculated the working capital limit on Nayak committee method and on modified MSc method. The link to this worksheet would be given in the description of the video. Hope that you like this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye and take care.